Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to give a review on a book which is so here we have three books on which I'm going to give a review. All three of them are the romantic ones. So first one is The Woman Who Got Her Spark Back. Introduction. In today's fast-paced world where women are expected to balance careers, family responsibilities, relationships, and personal growth, many often find themselves drained and unfulfilled. Despite outward success, they feel a quiet emptiness, a sense that they have lost touch with their true selves. The Woman Who Got Her Spark Back explores this deeply human experience in a relatable, touching, and inspiring way. This book is not just a fictional tale of one woman's journey, it is a symbolic narrative for every woman who has ever felt invisible, overworked, or disconnected from her passions. Its central theme that it is possible to rediscover joy, purpose, and vitality after losing oneself is both comforting and empowering. Unlike typical self-help books that prescribe rigid formulas for happiness, this story works on a more emotional level. It shows the protagonist's struggles, doubts, and gradual transformation, which allows reader to see themselves in her journey. The book's strength lies in its ability to blend storytelling with life lessons, creating a narrative that is both emotionally moving and practically useful. By the end, readers are not merely readers are not merely entertained but also invited to reflect on their lives. Am I living authentically? Have I lost my spark? And if so, how I can reignite it? Context of the book. Before diving into the story itself, it is helpful to place the book within its broader context. The Woman Who Got Her Spark Back belongs to the category of transformation fictional, a genre that combines elements of with the structure of a story. This genre has grown in popularity because readers often find stories more relatable and impactful than abstract theories. The book also fits into the tradition of works aimed at women navigating midlife transitions. While younger readers may also find it inspiring, the book speaks most powerfully to those who have spent years focusing on others, children, partners, careers, only to realize they have neglected only to realize they have neglected themselves. In this sense, it functions both as a mirror and a roadmap, offering a gentle but firm reminder that it's never too late to make changes. Synopsis of the story. At the heart of the book is the story of a woman who, from the outside, appears to live a perfectly stable life. She has a job, a family, and all the outward markers of success. Yet, inwardly, she feels hollow. She wakes up each day with a sense of fatigue, goes through the motions of work and home life, and ends her days with an emptiness she cannot quite name. Her spark, the energy, curiosity, and joy she once had, seems long gone. Chapter by chapter analysis. Chapter 1, The Hollow Routine. The opening chapter paints a vivid picture of the protagonist's daily life. Her days are consumed by obligations, work deadlines, household chores, caring for others. Outwardly, she seems accomplished, but the monotony drains her spirit. She no longer laughs as she once did, no longer feels excitement about the future. In depth reflection, this chapter resonates with readers because it reflects the silent exhaustion so many people experience. It shows how easy it is to slip into autopilot mode when the life becomes mechanical. It emphasizes the danger of ignoring subtle signs of dissatisfaction until they grow unbearable. Chapter 2, Signs of Emptiness. Here Here, the narrative zooms in on the small but powerful signs that something is wrong. She feels restless, irritable, and uninspired. Activities she once enjoyed feel meaningless. Relationships lack depth. She notices that even she notices that even when surrounded by others, she feels lonely. Chapter 3, A Wake Up Call. An unexpected event jolts her out of denial. Whether it is a health scare, a blunt comment from a friend, or a moment of deep self selection, this wake up call forces her to confront what she has been ignoring. She is deeply unhappy and cannot continue like this. Chapter 4, Resistance and Fear. Acknowledging unhappiness does not immediately lead to action. In this chapter, the protagonist wrestles with fear of judgment, fear of disrupting her family, fear of being seen as selfish. Guilt weighs heavily on her, making her question whether she even has the right to want more. Chapter 5, Small Acts of Courage. The turning point begins with small but brave choices. She sets boundaries, says no to unnecessary commitments, and begins craving out time for herself. These small steps start to breathe life into her days. Chapter 6, Reconnecting with Past Self. She begins to remember who she used to be before responsibilities consumed her. Old friendships are revived, childhood passions are revisited, and long forgotten dreams resurface. Each discovery strengthens her sense of identity. In depth reflection, this chapter illustrates the power of memory and nostalgia in healing. Chapter 7, The Struggle for Balance. As she grows more confident, challenges arise. Others push back against her boundaries. Uncomfortable with the changes, she must learn to assert herself without losing compassion. This chapter explores the difficulty of balancing self care with external responsibilities. Chap- Chapter 8, Transformation and Renewal. The book concludes with her transformation. She does not become a different person but rather claims her authentic self. She now lives with clarity, joy, and energy. Her relationships improve because she shows up fully, no longer drained. Her life feels balanced, purposeful, and fulfilling. Major themes: identity and self worth. The central theme is the search for identity beyond societal roles. The book emphasizes that women are more than mothers, partners, or employees. They're individuals with passions, dreams, and desires. Guilt and liberation. The narrative explores the guilt women often feel when prioritizing themselves. The protagonist's liberation comes from realizing that self care is not selfish but essential. The power of small steps. Instead of dramatic life changes, the story shows how small acts accumulate into transformation. This theme encourages readers to start where they are with what they can manage. Balance of roles. The book challenges the myth of perfect balance and instead promotes authentic balance, choosing what truly matters and letting go of the rest. Resilience and courage. True change requires bravery, and keep moving forward despite setbacks. Writing style. The writing is warm, conversational, and deeply empathetic. It reads less like a lecture and more like a conversation with a close friend who understands your struggles. The language is simple yet powerful, making the book accessible to a wide audience. Personal reflection. As a reader, one can one can not help but pause and reflect while moving through the chapters. The story acts as a mirror, prompting questions such as: have I neglected my passions? Am I living authentically? What steps can I take to bring more joy into my daily life? Conclusion. The Woman Who Got Her Spark Back is more than a book. It is a gentle call to action. It validates the struggles of women who feels invisible, exhausted or lost. If no matter how dim a spark becomes, it never truly goes out. With courage, self-reflection and small intentional steps, it can always be reignited. This book is an essential read for women seeking renewal, partners who want to better understand the hidden struggles of the women they love, and anyone in the universal journey of rediscovering oneself. It is not only inspiring but also life affirming, a reminder that transformation is always within reach. So, here we have our second book on which we're going to see another romantic story, which is Sunrise at Crystal Bay. Introduction. Some books feel like a breath of fresh air, offering not only a story but also an escape into a world of beauty, hope, and emotional depth. Sunrise at Crystal Bay is one such book. It is a novel that blends themes of love, healing, and self discovery with a setting so vivid that readers can almost feel the salty sea breeze and see the golden sun rising over the bay. On the surface, it appears to be a simple romance set in a picturesque town, but a closer reading reveals there is much more than that. It is a reflection on the resilience of the human spirit, the necessity of facing one's past, and the courage it takes to embrace second chances. This book speaks directly to readers who have experienced heartbreak, disappointment, or periods of emotional stagnation. By following the protagonist's journey, readers are invited to reflect readers are invited to reflect on their own lives, to consider what it means to truly heal, and to believe in the possibility of renewal. The sunrise in the title is not just a natural phenomenon but a symbol of new beginnings, second chances, and the beauty that can follow even the darkest nights. Synopsis of the story. The story begins with the protagonist, an intelligent, compassionate, and stronger woman, finding herself at a crossroad in life. After enduring heartbreak and personal setbacks, she feels weighed down by grief, disappointment, and the heavy burden of what could have been. In search of clarity and rest, she travels to Crystal Bay, a coastal town known for its beauty and tranquility. And tranquility. At first, she views this trip as a temporary retreat opposed to escape her troubles. However, Crystal Bay has much more in store for her than she anticipated. The town's natural beauty, combined with the warmth of its close knit community, begins to work a quiet magic on her. Through meaningful friendships, unexpected encounters, and the steady rhythm of life by the water, she slowly starts to heal. The town's most importantly, she discovers love, not just romantic love, but also love for herself, her passion, and the world around her. By the end of the novel, Crystal Bay has transformed from a temporary escape into a permanent turning point. The protagonist has transformed from a temporary escape into a permanent turning point. The protagonist has found not only peace but also renewed joy, purpose, and a willingness to embrace life again with open arms. Major themes: healing and renewal. The theme of healing runs throughout the novel. The protagonist arrives at Crystal Bay emotionally wounded and uncertain about her future. She has been carrying emotional baggage that weighs her down, and she feels disconnected from herself. The bay, with its serene landscapes and gentle pace of life, provides a setting where she can finally breathe, reflect, and begin to let go of the pain. Love and second chances. At its core, Sunrise at Crystal Bay is a story about second chances, especially in love. The protagonist's journey demonstrates that love is not limited to youth or perfect circumstances. Even after heartbreak, loss, or disappointment, it is possible to open one's heart again. Friendship and community. The role of community is another key theme. Crystal Bay is depicted not only as a physical location but also as a supportive network of people who live with kindness and sincerity. The friendships the protagonist develops in the town provide her with encouragement, fresh perspectives, and a sense of belonging. Facing the past. The protagonist's journey is not without struggle. Throughout the novel, she must confront painful memories and unresolved feelings. She realizes that running away from her past only delays her healing. Only delays her healing. By acknowledging her pain and addressing it head on, she begins to realize its hold on her. Character analysis. The protagonist. The protagonist is fully developed, multi-dimensional character. She portrayed as strong yet fragile, hopeful yet fearful, resilient yet deeply human. Her relatability lies in her flaws, her self doubt, her hesitation to trust again, her moments of vulnerability. Readers are likely to see parts of themselves in her journey, which makes her story all the more impactful. Supporting characters. The secondary characters, the town people, friends, and love interest, play a vital role in the protagonist's journey. They are not merely background figures but catalysts for her growth. Each one reflects a different aspect of life in Crystal Bay: the warmth of community, the wisdom of experience, and the possibility of connection. Connection. Writing style. The author's writing style is one of the book's greatest strengths. The description of Crystal Bay are lush and evocative, allowing readers to feel as if they are standing on the beach at sunrise, watching the first rays of the light stretch across the water. The imagery is not only beautiful but also symbolic, reinforcing the themes of renewal and hope. Practical lessons for readers. One of the reasons Sunrise at Crystal Bay resonates so deeply that it offers not only an engaging story but also lessons readers can apply in their own lives. Among them, healing requires time, patience, and honesty. Second chances in love and life are always possible, regardless of age or past disappointments. Facing the past rather than avoiding it essential for true renewal. Change often begins in small, consistent steps, much like the slow but steady rising of the sun. Conclusion. Sunrise at Crystal Bay is a tender, uplifting novel that offers far more than a simple romance. It is a story about resilience, love, healing, and courage it takes to embrace second chances. Through, through its vivid setting, relatable characters, and meaningful themes, it provides both comfort and inspiration. For anyone who has ever felt broken, lost, or unsure of what comes next, this book is a reminder that even after the darkest nights, the sun will always rise again. And sometimes that brings not just light but also the promise of a new life filled with hope, joy, and love. So here we have our last book which we're going to see today in this video. Another romantic story which name is 25 Library Terrace. Introduction: a house, a memory, a story. Certain novel captures not only the imagination but also the inner emotional landscape of their readers. 25 Library Terrace is one such work, a book at first seems to be quite an almost understand tale about an old house, but gradually reveals itself to be a meditation on identity, memory, and human resilience. The choice of title is striking. At first glance, 25 Library Terrace appears to be nothing more than an address. Yet, much like the house itself, it conceals far more than the meets the eye. The novel uses a domestic setting, an old townhouse, core ideas, both a literal location and a symbolic space where history, family secrets, and personal transformations unfold. The brilliance of the structure is that it mirrors real life. Many of us have physical places that are inseparably tied to our memories. Whether it be a family home, a school, or even a street corner where important events took place. In this way, the book becomes both personal and universal. Detailed synopsis. The novel begins with the protagonist's return to 2025 Library Terrace. This opening scene is quietly evocative. The house is described in meticulous detail: the grating gate, ivy climbing the walls, the faint smell of dust as the door opens for the first time in years. Immediately, the reader senses that this is no ordinary house. It feels alive, weighted with memory, as though it has been waiting patiently for this return. Themes in greater depth: memory and the architecture of the mind. The book's most compelling idea is the relationship between physical spaces and memory. The author suggests that a house can function as a kind of external brain, storing experiences long after people have left. 25 Library Terrace becomes a metaphor for the protagonist's subconscious. Each room corresponds to different aspects of memory. The attic, dusty and cluttered, represents repressed memories, things deliberately put away. The kitchen, warm yet worn, symbolizes comfort, routine, and the everyday intimacy of family life. The basement, dark and unsettling, embodies the fears and traumas that the protagonist avoided confronting for years. Second, family secrets and the weight of silence. Every family has stories that remain untold, either because they are too painful, too shameful, or simply forgotten. Too forgotten. The protagonist discovers diaries, letters, and whispered accounts of events that were hidden from them as a child. These secrets reshape their understanding of who they are and where they come from. These secrets reshape their understanding of who they are and where they come from. Loneliness, belonging, and community. Much of the novel is steeped in solitude. The image of a lone figure walking through empty rooms captures the essence of loneliness, yet, throughout the story, yet throughout the story, small human connections push against this isolation. A kind neighbor who remembers the family, a childhood friend who reappears, or even the imagined voices of those long gone creates a sense of belonging. 4. Time, both destroyer and healer. The house is a living embodiment of time. Peeling wallpaper, wrapped floorboards, and fading photographs reflect the passage of time, passage of years. But time is not portrayed solely as decay, it is also growth. Just as ivy climbs the walls outside, the protagonist the protagonist discovers that resilience is possible even after the years of neglect. Character analysis in depth. The protagonist. The protagonist's journey is subtle but profound. At the start, they are defined by avoidance. They don't want to face the past, the family secrets, or their own emotional wounds. But through the process of uncovering the house's layers, they grow into someone's braver, someone capable of holding pain without letting it define them. What makes a protagonist so compelling is their ordinariness. They are not portrayed as heroic in the traditional sense, but as deeply human. Their hesitations, self doubt, and gradual resilience mirror the struggles that many readers themselves face. Sporting characters. The sporting cast is introduced gradually, often through memory rather than direct interaction. A stern parent, a playful sibling, a mysterious neighbor, each one adds another layer to the protagonist's identity. What's fascinating is that many of these characters are more vividly alive in memory than they are the present day storyline, which reinforces the novel's central theme: the past is never truly gone. Writing style and literary craft. The prose of 25 Library Terrace is deliberate and atmospheric. The author has a gift for description, turning ordinary objects into symbols charged with meaning. A cracked teacup becomes a metaphor for fragile relationships. A broken window suggests vulnerability. Even silence becomes a presence in the book, an eloquent absence that speaks volumes. The pacing is slow, almost meditative. For some, this may feel challenging. But for others, it creates the space to savor the details and immerse themselves fully in the setting. The book rewards patient readers who are willing to reflect alongside the protagonist. Strengths of the novel: atmosphere and mood. The author creates a tangible sense of place that makes the house feel alive. Universal theme. Universal themes: memory, family, and belonging are topics that resonate with nearly everyone. Symbolism: the use of the house as a metaphor for the self is both elegant and effective. Emotional authenticity: the novel portrays grief, regret, and hope with sensitivity and truth. Conclusion. Conclusion: why 25 Library Terrace matters. At its core, 25 Library Terrace is not just about a house, it is about the human heart, its fragility, its resilience, its resilience, and its capacity to hold both joy and sorrow. The house becomes a stage on which life's most enduring dramas, loss, love, memory, and renewal are played out. The novel lingers long after its final page. Readers will likely find themselves reflecting on their own 25 Library Terrace, a place tied to memory, emotion, or identity. In this way, the book achieves something rare. It does not merely tell a story, but becomes a mirror in which readers see themselves. So this is all we have from these three of the romantic stories. I hope you guys like three of them, but which one do you like the most? You can tell me in the comment section. And if you like this video, don't forget to press the like button. And if you wanted to buy any one of these best-selling books, you can buy it from our Amazon page. I'll be back with another video to give a review on. Till then, just take care and goodbye.